Hi students, welcome to English class. Today we are going to start a new lesson and the title of the lesson is All is Not Lost. The title is very interesting and it arises curiosity that what is not lost. So we'll see what happens in the lesson. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to scan the text to look for contextual meaning. You'll be able to give a personal opinion or viewpoint, and you'll be able to substitute synonyms of words from the text. So here is the paragraph 1 to 3, but before we do that one, here are few pictures that I want to show you. You can look at this picture. This is the picture of crutches. You can see these are crutches. Okay, these are actually used for the support if the person is injured in an accident, okay, or by birth if he has some kind of issue. So this helps. This is a kind of support. Okay, these might be wooden stick or iron sticks to support the person to walk. Neuron is a nerve cell in your mind, and you know our mind is made up of thousands of millions and billions of neurons. This is the picture of a nurse. This is the picture of ICU. ICU stands for Intensive Care Unit. Intensive Care Unit is a department in the hospital which is fully equipped with machines and where the patients in critical situation are kept and treated. So hopefully these things are clear to you. Now we'll see what is the lesson about. Actually, this is the story of a nurse uh, who comes across a difficult situation in her profession where she meets a patient who is in critical situation and she wants to save her life. So in the first paragraph, she describes that it was the beginning of her professional career and she was new in this profession and she worked in the intensive care unit ICU of neurology ward, which is a very critical ward. Okay, and as a young professional she wished to save the world and she was excited to see the patients making quick recoveries from devastating accident. Devastating means from critical and severe, okay, situations. Yet she was paid to nurse those or to look after those who were stuck with acute also means very severe or critical conditions, neurological disorder where their nerve system was completely damaged. So this is how she felt about her profession or how passionate she was. So in the second paragraph, she is talking about her experience one day standing at the bedside of a young bus accident victim. So there was a one bus accident victim and she was standing next to her bedside and she was wondering what she wondered if she could make the same recovery as others. It means that patient was in serious condition. And what was the name of the patient? Hera. That was a girl and she had severe head and spinal injury. Spinal means it refers to your backbone. And while she was hit by a speeding bus, while crossing a busy road, she was hit by the bus and her spinal and head was badly injured. She took her lifeless arms in her hands and she tried to do several exercises on her, but all was in vain, but without any recovery. It was all in vain. All in vain means useless. She also made her young sister come and talk to her. Now, in this, she tried to help the patient by bringing her younger sister to her so that when she talked to her, she might listen to her voice and uh, this might activate while listening to her younger sister, this might activate her dead neurons since her head was completely damaged or The accident had badly damaged her nervous system, so she wanted to activate her neurons by listening to the words of her near and dear ones. And since her younger sister was the person who could talk to her, so that's why she invited her to talk to her. Her eyes showed a certain helplessness. I could read her mind through her eyes. Perhaps she wanted to say, please help me, help me. Now, these are the thoughts which were going through the mind of the nurse. And when she looked at the eyes of that patient, Hira, she could read that the eyes were asking, please help me. Though the patient couldn't speak, but the nurse could read the mind of the patient. Meanwhile, in the third paragraph, a fellow nurse came near that nurse, Rahila, and asked, what she asked, Rahila, what are you doing? Fighting a lost battle? Now see what the nurse asked, the fellow nurse, that you are fighting a lost battle. There is no hope in this patient. And she says that I was shocked at first to hear a colleague making a hopeless comment. So this tells us about Rahila, what kind of person she was. She was very upset with the comment of the colleague or the fellow nurse who told that she was fighting a lost battle. Then I replied. She says that what she replied in her response, I'm trying to make her brain process her sister's voice. She said that I'm not helpless. I'm trying to help this patient. I'm trying to process her sister's voice in the brain of that patient. I'm doing my best to ensure that her arms and legs get proper exercise. This might help her walk like a normal person. Meanwhile, a senior doctor on duty walked in. Now, before she was disturbed by the comments of her fellow nurse, and now a senior doctor comes, and what is his approach? He gave me an ironic smile. Ironic smile means sarcastic or bitter smile. And what he said, if you spend most of your duty hours on one patient, we will have to recruit more nurses to attend to other patients. And what he says, that if you spend most of your time on one patient, it means we have to engage more nurses or we have to recruit or hire more nurses. Actually, he didn't mean it. He was telling her that she was wasting her time. We do not have much hope for her. Now see, not only the fellow nurse, but the doctor also, who was a senior doctor, he was telling her that she was spending her time on the hopeless case. She was very upset. Now, she was very upset to leave the patient unattended. And she says that she knew that she had suffered from major neural damage, okay, or neurological damage, but she needed to be given a chance. An inner voice inside her, she wanted to save her and she wanted to try once for her. Then she went against. Now you can read whenever you have time. You can see that how difficult it was. And then she wanted to save that child. She wanted to save the life of that girl, Hira, and how she had to leave her in the hands of another nurse because she was sent to another department, okay, and she was sent to Karachi. But before going to that department, she made sure that she left Hira in good hands. So when she returned after, now see, in 4, 5, and 6 paragraph, it talks about the helplessness of that nurse, where she was sent to another department and she had to leave her patient Hira with another nurse, but she made sure that her patient was in good hand. And when she came after 3 months, after the training course, when she came to Karachi again, um, so what happened? She wanted to see. For 3 months, she had to be away from her patient and she had to be in Karachi. When she came back, now what were her feelings? My feet froze to the ground. and she didn't want to listen to any negative thing. Okay, she didn't want to see any negative thing. As I stood near the bed with several questions popping in my mind. So this is when she returned from Karachi after training, and she was standing next to that bed where she left her patient. So there what she saw, I felt a gentle pat on my shoulder. I turned around to see a young woman smiling at me. Now we see who was that girl. Thank you for everything you did. I know you did not allow them to make me lead a crippled life. Crippled means disabled life. Hopefully you would have understood. This was the same girl whom she had left on this bed. This was Hira. And Rahila tells about her condition. I stood still until her family came around with big smiles on their faces. Thanks to Allah, she was my patient, standing and walking on her own feet. I could not recognize her without the machinery and tubes around her body. When Rahila left her in that ICU, she was fully covered with tubes and machinery. But now the bed was vacant, the bed was empty, and she was standing next to her. And she walked on crutches. I have shown you the pictures of crutches which she would leave in a few months, and she is quite hopeful that after a few months she would be able to walk without the crutches. And she was very happy to see that her patient was not a disabled. She was very happy that I had done those exercises on her to keep her limbs in motion, to keep her body parts in motion. I was glad that my efforts bore fruit. She was glad that she didn't give up on her patient and that she left her in good hands. And I was happy that Allah Almighty had helped me to win a lost battle, the lost battle which her colleagues told her that she was trying, or she was fighting a lost battle. She and her family had entered into a considerable bond of friendship. Considerable now they had. She was not only a nurse to them, but she was a very good friend to them, and she was humbled by their sense of gratitude. Gratitude means thankfulness. They were very thankful towards her. I felt a sense of renewed strength in me. This is what you achieve in your profession. And she tells, this last sentence is very important. Where there is a will, there is a way. I was proud to be a nurse. Wherever you are, theme of this lesson is whatever your profession is, if you are willing to change, if you are willing to bring a change, you can do. Sometimes we become hopeless that no, we can't do anything. This is not the way. If you want to achieve something, you can. So what is the theme? Nursing is an underrated profession in Pakistan and in many other countries. We do not value it the way it should be valued. The story highlights the importance of nursing profession and how the sincere efforts and strong determination of a nurse can save a patient from a near crippling stage. Crippling means where a person can go to a disabled situation where he can become a crippled or disabled person for the lifetime. A nurse can um, save the life of that patient. Teachers must apprise students about the importance of professions and the need to work honestly and sincerely and give one's best to them. So, what you learned from this lesson, whatever profession you choose in your life, try to be the best version of yourself. Try to prove yourself. Even when everything goes against you, you have to give your best to that profession, and you can be the best, and you can save many lives and many people around you. So this is the theme of the profession. No profession is underrated, and every profession has a value in our life. So whatever profession you choose, try to be the best one in that one. So this is the theme of this lesson. Hopefully you would have understood. Thank you so much for listening.